Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about three different things. First, I'm going to be talking about the LaMelo Ball car crash. The car crash, I don't want to go too much into it. I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to, do any of that. Luckily, everyone is safe. Everyone's okay. No one got hurt or nothing bad happened. Too bad. So, um, everyone was okay, and I don't want to point any fingers. Everyone's proven innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm trying to say. Um, but I do want to point out, if you look at camera angles, LaMelo does look like he's driving in the middle of the road, and ever since the accident happening, more stories and more videos and more pictures and stuff have came out about LaMelo having some driving issues in Charlotte. So maybe something needs to happen there. But I won't put words out there that isn't. There's no proof of anything. I'll let the judge do their job. And I'll do my job. Just wanted to graze over that and just talk about that real quick. And then the next topic I want to talk about is All-Star Weekend. This All-Star Weekend was the best All-Star Weekend in a while. 2020 probably is better than it, but and then other than 2020, it's been a long time since we've had an All-Star Weekend this good, which is huge. I mean, All-Star Weekend was like just wasn't super great before this weekend, but this weekend, if they can get an All-Star Weekend to be this good every single year, I'll be really happy with the All-Star Weekend. I think I don't think you can ever I don't think you can expect these players to get back to, you know, like really like going Kobe Bryant level trying. That's just not gonna happen. I don't feel like, but if you can get to this level, I love it, and it's shown this past weekend. It showed that other people loved it too, and not just me. This was the most viewers for an All Star Weekend in 24 years. It was 46 million people, which that is a lot of people considering how many people probably were watching this illegally. We're in the day and age where illegal viewership is at an all-time high. So I can't imagine what the numbers look like on with that viewership also. So that's just even more of a bonus to this All Star Weekend. To go over it real quick, Celebrity Game. I usually don't watch it. Did watch it this year, and it wasn't terrible. I don't understand really why Taco Fall's in there. That doesn't really make much sense to me. But to be honest, it kind of made it more entertaining. So I'm not super mad about it. I'm just not sure how he really fits into an All Star game like that. He's playing professionally currently. So even if he's not in the NBA, he's still playing professional basketball. So I don't feel like he should be in a celebrity game like that. But um, it was okay. I mean, celebrity games really have never been a big thing, so I won't go too much into it because there's no need to. Most people don't care for them anyways. So most people don't even watch them. And then I want to talk real quick about the celebrity 3-point contest. I didn't watch this. Honestly, I don't even know how you could watch it. Like I didn't hear anything about it. How like where it was on or anything. And even if I did know, I probably wasn't gonna watch it. I'm a little also confused how Jared McCain is a celebrity 3-point contest like contestant. That is mind blowing to me. I don't understand at all how he can be in that contest. Yeah, he's a celebrity, but I guess you can put any. I understand he's like very into like he's doing the social media, he's doing the YouTube, and he's doing like TikTok and stuff, and I like his like I watch all of his YouTube stuff. I really enjoy his YouTube stuff. But I don't. He's still an NBA player. Like let's try to separate. Let's try to separate the celebrity stuff with the NBA stuff. Like let's try to separate it. We don't need to put NBA players. Like if you really thought Jared McCain wasn't gonna win, like there's no way the NBA was like, yeah, let's put Jared McCain in there. It'll be a competition. It'll be close. No, like Jared McCain's gonna win that. Like I watched his YouTube video of him going to the celebrity 3-point contest, and he's like, "Do I even try?" Like that's what he's generally asking, because like he's like, "Do I go out there and fully try?" Because that makes me look like just a try hard kind of thing, and so you kind of put him in a hard spot, and it just doesn't really make sense. But celebrity stuff, no one really watches that stuff, so I won't go too much into it. But I will go into the Saturday night, starting with the 3-point contest. that might be the best 3-point contest I've ever seen, and maybe the best one ever. That was so good. To the very end, we had some of the best first round scores ever, and then we had we had the second round where Damian Lillard comes out with a win with an Achilles injury, which is just crazy. He hasn't played all season, and he comes and does the 3-point contest and wins it. Devin Booker's there. He needs to hit like what was it, one or two more shots in the last. I think it was one more shot in the last like three shots he had, and he missed all of them. Super exciting there. And I was sitting there watching that. I was like, I'm genuinely like a lot of times you like Saturday night. It's like, oh, that was cool, but like you're not sitting there like, whoa, like you're not like jumping out of your chair or anything. I was legitimately sitting there for the 3-point contest when Devin Booker's on that last rack, and he's only got to make like two of the five, and he's like on fire, and I'm genuinely sitting there I'm like, whoa, is he really? Is he gonna hit these or no? Like I'm genuinely sitting there excited, jumping out of my chair, like I'm like really getting excited about it, and I think I think next year they really should make the 3-point contest the final event, the main event of the night, and not the dunk contest anymore. I will talk more about the dunk contest in a second. The next event was the Shooting Stars event. I'm not gonna lie, I was watching it, but I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I didn't see anyone say anything bad about it. To me, from what I watched, it seemed fine. It was good. It wasn't anything crazy. I think it's a fine thing to keep. Um, it, it's fun bringing in some older players and stuff like that, and mixing them with the new players and different teams and stuff like that. I don't mind it. I think it's a cool idea. It's fun. There's probably some changes that can be done to make it better. Don't ask me what those changes are. I'm not I don't know those type of things, but I think it's a solid event. I think just some tweaks to it could make it a good event. And then lastly, the dunk contest. I will say it's not the worst dunk contest I've ever seen. Not the worst. There were some dunks in there I was genuinely impressed. But I just really truly think that you're never gonna get that dunk contest feeling maybe ever again. I think even if if you get these star players to do it, like an Anthony Edwards and players like that, I think even if you get those players to do it, I still think people are gonna complain about it. I just don't think it'll ever get that feeling back because the these superstar players they can't do the dunks that they don't have the ability for the most part. I won't say everyone. There's definitely people out there that have the ability, but a lot of these players that are these superstar players, they just don't have the ability to be able to do stuff you've never seen before. The biggest problem is we've seen everything. You know, like back in the day, I'm not trying to pick on Jordan here, but we watched Jordan. Not we. I wasn't alive for that, but people watched Jordan, do a dunk from the free throw line, and everyone was amazed, and they were like, "This is the best dunk contest ever." He just did a dunk from the free throw line. But if someone did that now, we're not impressed. We've seen not every, but we've seen a lot of dunks. We've seen so many dunks that dunks just don't impress us anymore. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The dunk contest was a great thing, and it lived its lifetime. It lived its lifespan. I think it's dead. I don't, and there's no need to keep carrying it on. We have a 3-point contest that looks like it can replace it as the main event. The 3-point contest is exciting. It's fun. It's exciting. We like watching it. The 3-point contest is really really good. So stop trying to drag this dunk contest because it was at one point this great thing. Make the 3-point contest this great thing. You have the opportunity, so do it. Get rid of the dunk contest or change it up or something. Stop trying to save the dunk contest. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to. Don't save it. Just, honestly, I like the idea of a 1v1. I don't know, if you're going to get players to get in on doing a 1v1 tournament, but doing a 1v1 tournament sounds pretty good to me. Getting players like a Kevin Durant versus Anthony Edwards in a 1v1, that sounds exciting. That sounds fun. I really like the idea of that. Doing Jokic versus Embiid in a 1v1 contest, in 1v1 tournament, that sounds really fun. That sounds really exciting. Like, the idea of doing a 1v1 tournament sounds really fun. I don't know if you can get the players into this and, really talk them into doing this, but it sounds fun. It sounds exciting. I really do like the idea of that. And then I want to say one more thing about the 3-point contest. Sounds like next year we're going to have a really exciting 3-point contest again. Sounds like we're going to get Steph Curry out there, And Steph, Damian Lillard, they're gonna try to talk Clay into it. They're gonna get Devin Booker again. It sounds like it's gonna be a good 3-point contest. They want to get a lot of really, really good shooters, and I think the 3-point contest is what's next for the All Star Weekend. I think that's gonna be your main point for the All Star Weekend in the next few years. I really, really do think the All Star Weekend needs to make the 3-point contest the event, the Saturday night event. Now I want to move to Sunday. Sunday All-Star game, the best All-Star game I've seen since 2020, and then before 2020, it's been a while since a game was that good. Um, that was. All right, sorry, I just got a notification that says Kevin Durant plans on playing the 2028 Olympics, which is crazy. That means, I guess it's 2 years. So, but that's an exciting thought to see. Hopefully that we can get another good Olympics team for the U.S. again. I love the Olympics basketball. I love seeing all the best players in the world play against each other. It's super fun, super exciting. But back to Sunday night. Sorry, got distracted there. Saturday or Sunday night, the game, it was good. Wemby comes out hot in that first game. I also kind of like the format also. You're still getting the same amount of basketball because you're getting 4 12-minute quarters all still. Like you're getting 4 12-minute games, which is equal to 4 12-minute quarters. You're getting the same amount of basketball still. And people seem like they were trying. To be honest, I think Adam Silver is going to really try to say that they were trying because of the international like against each other type thing, but I think that it was more to do with people, these young guys. I think they care. I really do think they care, and I think I really do think you can probably, maybe not next year, but the year after that, or the year after that, like do like 2028 or 2029. I think you can go back to a East versus West, and because these players will care. Like I think by that time, these like Wemby's showing that he cares. Ant showed he cares. Tyrese Maxey showed he cares. Cade Cunningham showed he cared. These players look like they really care. I don't think you like that. I don't think Luka will ever care. I mean, it. Which the thing is, a lot of people like blame the players for not caring. I don't think you can blame the players for caring. If I was in their position, I'm not sure if I would care either. I have no reason to care. There's no point for me to care. Like, why would I care? I'm not getting anything out of this All-Star game. So why would I try my hardest? Why would I care? Why would I, you know, box people out? Why would I take a charge? Why would I do this stuff? Why would I? I don't have a reason to. I genuinely don't have a reason to. And I feel like for every single player to care, you're going to have to put something on the line, whether that's home court advantage in the NBA Finals for East or West. That's my favorite idea. I still don't love it. I don't love putting that much on an All-Star game that's supposed to be fun and it's like just fun, not super like competitive or anything. I don't love it, but I think that's the only way you get every single player to care. And I think you just kind of give up on getting every single player to care because they've shown this weekend, this Sunday, they've shown that the young guys seem like a lot of them, like I say, every single one of them, but a lot of them seem like they care. It seemed like they were trying to win, and I think a lot of that's led by Wemby, and so Wemby really wants to be the face in the NBA. He wants to do anything to make Adam Silver and the NBA happy. He really wants to be the face in the NBA, and I think that's a good thing. He seems like a good role model for the rest of these players. He seems like he wants best for the business and not just best for himself and best for, he of course wants best for himself and best for the team, but he wants best for the NBA. He wants best for the business. He wants to care about the All-Star game. He wants the All-Star weekend to mean something again. And I think that's a super good thing for the NBA to have. There was one thing I did not really like about the All-Star game. And that one thing is the overtimes. I don't like the goal-ending games. I don't like when you have to score, 40 points or whatever it is. I don't like it. So when that first game went into overtime and I saw it was first to 5 points, I was like, that was a little upsetting. I thought you could do like, a 2-minute overtime. And maybe if you go into double overtime, you can do a score because you don't want to keep extending the game over and over again. Um, but I think we should do a 2 minute overtime. I think that just it's so much more exciting. I think the end goals, like the end score things, are just kind of, I don't know. I don't know why I don't like them. I just don't. Um, it just kind of gets rid of this like feeling of the other team having a chance. It kind of feels like if you have the ball, all you have to do, like, it's first person to five, both you have three. Okay, the person with the ball is going to win. They're going to go get a layup. Like, they're going to make sure they get 2 points here. I don't know. I don't love it. It just, and then it always feels like they're going for that goal score. So, like, they get a layup and then they're only shooting threes. And I just don't love the feeling of it. I like the idea of doing a like 2 minute overtime. But that's my only critique, or my only, not even critique, just advice. It still was a good game. Um, just my advice to change. Then I just realized that I forgot about the Rising Stars game. Rising Stars was good. A lot of people don't watch it. I think for people that really truly love basketball, and like, not that people that don't watch it don't love basketball, but that the people that are watching basketball every single day are studying the game. Like, people like me. I'm not gonna not gonna not make it sound like that, but people that just are truly studying in the game, watching every single game, every like really 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 care about the NBA and care about and love the NBA. Um, I think the Rising Stars games is such a good thing, and I really do like the Rising Stars. I thought this year's Rising Stars game was really good again. I would love to see Cooper Flag out there, but he wasn't out there. But it was good. Love watching the young guys hoop. Um, I don't have too much to say. It's usually good. I find that the Rising Star games are usually one of the best parts of my All Star weekend. Okay, I went a little longer on that All Star weekend part than I wanted to, so I'm gonna try to go over this next topic pretty quickly. It's gonna take some time because it's a bigger topic, but I want to try to go over this a little quicker. Don't want to make this a 40-minute video. I don't even really want to make a 30-minute video, so I'm gonna get right into it. This next topic is gonna be the tanking rule implementation that they want to do for next season. Um, I'm sure you guys have heard about this a lot as of recent. When it came out, it was kind of like a big deal because some people love the idea, some people are scared of it. I want to first start by saying I think the NBA thinks, and the NBA and Adam Silver think that tanking is a bigger problem than it really is. Um, I really don't think it's that big of a problem, because why I say this is because the the people and the teams that are tanking are the teams that are bad. The teams that are going to lose games already just want to lose more. And I don't think that's a big of a problem, because I think if you're really into the NBA and you have League Pass and you're watching all these games, then you have an understanding of that. And the people that don't have an understanding of that are the casual fans that are watching ESPN games and Prime, like Amazon Prime games, and they're watching nationally televised games. They're watching those games, and those games, for the most part, don't have tanking teams in them, because those nationally televised games, they try their hardest to put the best of the best teams in those games. So the people that would, not like tanking, watching tanking and stuff, are the people that and don't understand tanking, are the people that aren't watching tanking. So who cares? Like, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily making the product worse, because let's be honest, you're not watching a Nets game. Like like, even if you really like, I watch I watch as much basketball as I possibly can. The only way I'm watching a Nets game is if it's the only game on, and maybe if they're playing the Warriors, which is my favorite team. Maybe, and that's even a maybe. Like, I I'm a Warriors fan, but I'm an NBA fan first. I'm not a Warriors fan first. I'm an NBA fan first. So if there's Nuggets versus Celtics, I'm gonna go watch that game, even if the Warriors are or even if the Warriors are playing, I'm gonna go watch that game because I'm an NBA fan first. I love basketball, I love the NBA. I want to watch this good game that actually truly matters rather than the Warriors who are fighting for a play-in spot and the Nets who are not even close to contending. I'm not going to watch that because why would I? I have this other game that means a lot more. And this, gets me, and this shows me what a potential finals matchup would be. Celtics versus Nuggets. That's a potential finals matchup. Why would I not watch a potential finals matchup and over a nothing game that doesn't matter because both teams are terrible? Why would I? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Of course, like I mean, I'm watching the Warriors as much as I can, but I'm watching other games over them because they just don't. It doesn't matter what they're doing because they're not good. I mean, I'm an honest fan. I understand that they're not good, and really, there's not a whole lot they can do to become good. You got to make some huge changes to become good. But for the first rule that like none of these 100% are being implemented or like maybe one of them will be or maybe a couple of them will be, just it's kind of don't really, could be whatever. These are just some ideas that were brought up during meetings and stuff. I'm going to try to go through these as quickly as possible. The first one I have is first round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14. I don't really understand how this stops tanking, to be honest. I guess a little bit, but like that I don't feel like this is gonna stop tanking. But I do like the idea. I think this should be a rule that's implemented. I hate looking at like picks and stuff where I'm like, I don't know who this is going to. Like it's if it's 1 through 5, it goes to this team, and then if it's 6 through 7 or 6 through 12, then it goes to this team. But then it's best, and then from 13 to 30, then it's the best of these 8 teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hate that. Make it more simple. Make picks more simple in trades. Do top 4 or top 14. Do that. I really do like that rule. Not for tanking reasons, but I like it for just simplicity reasons. The next rule is lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. I hate this. Please do not do this. It makes no sense. It's not going to stop tanking. Tanking is just going to happen sooner. A lot of times you'll see teams like try in the first half of the season or so, and then after the trade deadline or maybe right before it, then they start tanking. So now teams that are bad are just going to be tanking the whole season up to the trade deadline. It doesn't stop tanking. It does not stop tanking. And then also, if a team is really good, I'm not going to try to wish any injuries upon people or anything, but I'm just going to use the Thunder as an example. The Thunder are really, really good, and then we get to the trade deadline, and the game before the trade deadline, Shea gets an injury and is out for the rest of the season. And now, they're a bad example because even without Shea, they're still pretty good. Okay, let's say Shea, J-Dub, and Chet all get injured and they're out for the rest of the season. And now they're really bad, and now they fall into the play-in tournament, and then they fall completely out of the playoffs. They don't win in the play-in. And now they get the 30th pick or whatever pick. Or I guess I don't know how it would work. I guess they would probably still get the pick right outside of the lottery. I would think, but I don't really know how it would work exactly. But they're not gonna get a lottery pick because my thing when they ended up being a terrible team. Then they just got absolutely nothing out of this season because of unlucky injuries. I mean, like that's just kind of, I don't know. I hate that rule. The rule makes no sense to me. Why it doesn't? I don't think it stops thinking. And also with that rule, you could have a team that's in the lottery and then they go crazy in the second half of the season and they become a playoff team, and you could have a team win. You could have them win the championship and win the first overall pick. That's crazy to think about. That would be insane. Like, and it wouldn't even be like a trade pick. It could be their own pick. You might see the Thunder do that this season, win a championship, and have the Clippers the first overall pick. Like, that would be insane if that happens, by the way. That's crazy. The next rule is no longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. This rule is basically telling, like, the Wizards, you've been bad for enough years, you need to become good. Which isn't a terrible idea. Doing the not being able to pick in top 4 in consecutive years isn't a terrible idea. I feel like it should be maybe like 3 years rather than 2, because, you have, let's say you bring in a top 4 pick 2 years in a row. Like, let's imagine you're the Hawks. So you picked Zachary Reshape, who, isn't a usual top 4 pick. You know what I'm saying? He didn't become super great. And then you bring in the next year someone, a top 4 pick, and this one can be good, you still only have one true top 4 pick, and you haven't, and like this player's a rookie, so like you haven't even had opportunity to do a whole lot. So I do feel like, maybe make it 3 years, and that's not a terrible idea. I think it's worth, testing maybe and seeing if it would work. I do believe, I could be wrong. I don't know my research on this. I don't know enough about the WNBA to tell you this for certain. But I do believe that is a rule in the WNBA where you can't. No, that's not true. It's a different rule on this list. That's WNBA. Never mind. Forget I said that. I'm sorry. But the part I don't like about that rule is the or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. So you can't pick after having bottom 3 finishes, which would just completely screw over a team like the Pistons, where they were terrible for multiple years in a row, but their lottery odds were just they could not get lucky to save their lives. I mean, they got like the 5th or 6th overall pick, whatever it was. I think it was the 5th overall pick, like 3 or 4 years in a row. Like, they just, they could not quite get one of those top picks. So I feel like you got really unlucky. Well, that sucks. Like, what I'm saying? I feel like you're really, like, putting that temp team into the ground with that rule. And then the next rule is going to be teams can't pick top 4 the year after making conference finals. This feels very targeted towards the Pacers. The thing is, I feel like a lot of the times when you see a team, after they get to the conference finals or better, and then they get a top pick like that, either they completely blew it up, like a Toronto Raptors. I don't think they became a top 4 pick team. But you're taking I'm just gonna use the Raptors as an example because they're the closest thing I can think of. They went to the finals and then Kawhi left. So like, they were really good. They didn't go to the finals. They won the championship actually, but they won the championship and then Kawhi left, so they became bad. So you're telling that team, oh, you're bad this season, but it doesn't matter because you won a championship last season, or you went to the conference finals last season. And you're also telling a team like the Pacers, oh, you went to the finals last season, so even though, Tyrese got injured and you're terrible and the season's just a complete waste for you, you get nothing out of this season. You get 0 positive this season. You just get, all you get is nothing, actually. You get out of the top 4 picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're really just telling a team, go screw themselves. And I don't know. I don't love that. I don't love that rule. The next rule is lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. This rule, I think I like it. I think I really like this rule. This rule is something I didn't fully understand how this stopped tanking until I found out this rule is something that's implemented in the WNBA. And apparently, according to some friends and some people I've seen online, that this rule has, like, it really did stop tanking in the WNBA. Like, this was like an effective rule that really worked in WNBA. So, will it work in the NBA level? I don't know, but I think it's worth a try if it worked that well in the WNBA level. It changes a lot though. I think we do have to be careful because it does change a lot. Like the Pacers, even though they're terrible this season, they're not. You know, they were so good last season that it's they're not gonna have a super really good pick. I do think that can really that that will have the same outcome as it'll have the same effects as the rule before, where teams can't pick top four the year after making conference finals. But also, what it does is it makes a team that it makes bad teams have a have be okay, not have a reason, but have okay or be okay with being good because they understand. Hey, last season I was really bad. We had the best odds in the lottery, and so this season I'm okay with being good because I still have my odds from last season. So I'm okay with being good because I have my odds from last season. If that, I hope that makes sense. It's kind of confusing, but I think it's worth a try. Will it work? I don't know, but I think it's worth a try. The next rule is going to be a lottery extended to include all play-in teams. I hate this. I absolutely hate it. But there are some cool ideas that could happen with this. But I still hate it. This is another scenario where a team could win the championship and have the number one overall pick because technically the play-in team would be in the lottery. It'd be all play-in teams, so even the winners of the play-in tournament would be in the lottery still. They wouldn't have good odds, but they would still be in the lottery, and they would also be able to go all the way, like the Miami Heat, whatever season that was against the Nuggets. I think it was like 2022 or 2023, something like that, where they made a huge run from the play-in. They went all the way to the finals, but they ended up losing, but they went all the way to the finals. And so with this rule, they would have also had a lottery pick. And, maybe the odds fall in their favor. The ping pong balls go in their favor. And they end up winning the lottery, which would be crazy. But, it's a possibility with that rule. I don't love it still. I still don't love it. I don't think. I think that gives, a reasons for a team to be mediocre. Like, for them to be okay with being mediocre. Because they, like, a team like the Chicago Bulls, that already seem like they're okay with being mediocre. Um, but like a team would be like, oh, so we can still compete for a championship and get a lottery pick. Okay, I'm fine with being mediocre. Like I feel like you're gonna get a lot more of that, which you don't want. You do not want teams to just be mediocre. You want to have teams that are good, and you want to have teams that are bad. For the last rule, it's going to be flatten odds for all lottery teams. I hate it. I don't like. I think if you have any consensus, yes, this would probably stop tanking. I mean, you stop teams tanking to be in the lottery, so I guess it doesn't fully stop it, but it stops teams from being a the 14th worst team or whatever, the 12th worst team, whatever, to being the worst team. I think you're stopping that type of thinking, but you're also what you're not stopping is a team being a play-in team and being like, okay, we're gonna tank to be in the lottery, and also it just doesn't make sense. The teams that are tanking to be the worst team in the league are the worst teams in the league. So you're telling those teams that you're really bad. But and I understand, hello Kings, I understand you're really bad and you need this pick super badly. But I think you should have the same odds as the Golden State Warriors that, didn't quite make it. Like I think that's a little that just doesn't seem very fair and seems really dumb. But that's all I have. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think any of these rules are dumb or good? Let me know what you think on the LaMelo car crash. Let me know what you guys think on the All-Star weekend. I know this video is gonna be a little long, but had to do what we had to do. Haven't made a video in a while. Sorry about that. Just took a little break. I didn't feel well and just wasn't feeling motivated for a little while too. So hope this hope you guys like this video. I would appreciate you guys could subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.